Rich Rising, my loves. I was just praying that God would give us clear and concise messages today on what it is that He wants us to be mindful of. Listen, if this is your first time here, I am Regal Essence. I am Queen TV. I am Queen TV After Dark. I am Life as a Love Goddess. I am Life as a Laid Back Mom. I'm your crystal healer and dealer. I'm your ray of sunshine in the afternoon time. I'm your past life princess, and I'm somebody's ABA therapist and pre-K teacher. Hey, booze, hey! So listen, tons of cards fell out. I want y'all to breathe. I want y'all to remember to breathe. Oh my God. Raise your vibration. Listen, y'all, sensitivity. Look at this goddess. All right. So we need to breathe, raise our vibration. Okay. Look at her. She's just looking up to heaven. She is dancing with the divine. Like she's so in love with her higher self, higher frequencies, the divine realm. Yes. Look at her. So we want to raise our consciousness we want to renew our mindset. Now look at her. She's in the midst of, it looks like clouds, but I would dare to say it's her subconscious mind. And look at her hands. She has the power in her hands to change some things, right? So we have to always be renewed, and how we renew ourselves, how we raise our vibration is by resetting our mindset, renewing our mind, right? So having a different way of thinking, reprogramming our subconscious mind. And I feel like that's what she's doing. That's what it gives here, okay? Mirror gets into the world is a mirror. Notice your patterns and clearing your blocks, okay? Oh, and my favorite one of all, sensitivity. Validate self. Vulnerability is strength and projections. This is the one we're getting into today. Look how beautiful that is. Look how beautiful that is. So let me make sure. So mirror, I read what mirror is, and it is connected with the cosmos, which is our crown chakra. Mindset is create your own reality. Work with the subconscious mind and befriend your mind. Wow. Yep. So you want to be careful what it is that you're feeding yourself. And then also to your subconscious mind, little do we know, 95% of our behavior is dictated by our subconscious mind. What? But the subconscious mind is what's going on underneath your conscious mind, which is what we feel as if our normal day-to-day thoughts are our conscious mind. Your subconscious mind is always running in the background, and you got to make sure that you reprogram your subconscious mind, because that is actually what is going to dictate your behavior. So that's very, very important. I am certified in hypnotherapy, so I am all things about, the subconscious mind, and just the beauty of it and the power of the power of the subconscious is very, very powerful, especially when you are feeding it the right things to help reprogram it. So so let's get into sensitivity number 3, and she is a water element. Listen, she's covered in water. She has a lotus on her stomach. She has a Reiki symbol on her third eye. Oh my gosh, this image is captivating for me. I hope I hope my lighting is getting what it needs to get. Oh, there we go. There we go. All right, let me calm down. I'm too hyped. All right, so she is a water element. So let's get into the water element. So remember, this deck is broken down. My other deck is broken down into the chakras. This particular deck is broken down into the elements because it is my elemental empathic guidance oracle deck. Elemental empath oracle. All right. Big feelings. Okay, so sensitivity. Let's get into it. You are a sensitive soul. Excuse me, ma'am. Say good morning to Luna. You are a sensitive soul, and it's okay Women have been shamed for thousands of years for being emotional and weak. Your sensitivity, as you learned to understand it, is your superpower. No, your sensitivity, as you learn to understand it, it's actually your superpower. You have a great capacity for empathy, compassion, and understanding others. Let yourself feel what you feel, even if they call you dramatic, okay? As a sensitive person, it is important to understand that you will naturally have big emotions and a sensitive nature. Your feelings may be hurt easily, even over seemingly small things. I have always been a sensitive person. It can feel overwhelming to handle anger or disappointment from others. Clock into it, since you can sense the emotions of others so acutely. Very, very true. You might even have become a people pleaser to avoid conflict, even though you often have your feelings hurt or pushed down. Get into it. Overwhelm can also be common with sensitive people, since our other senses are often heightened as well. It's important to remember that, contrary to what we have been taught, being sensitive is not a bad thing. It actually enables us to be more in touch with how it is that we feel and connect on a deeper level with others. I'm also going to say being sensitive also makes you a very empathic person, but it's very important for us to become empowered empaths, right? So we can't just be walking around feeling everybody's feelings, being swayed with everyone else's emotions. Have to be clear about how it is that we are feeling within ourselves so that we can relate to others outside of us better, right? And we can't, understanding that you're sensitive is also understanding that you have to remain grounded. You can't just be a tidal wave of emotion, a hurricane of emotion. Like, you can't just always be, you know what I mean? Like, basically, you got to use your feelings and your sensitivity to your benefit. Okay, so if you know that you pick up on other people and how it is that they do things and how it is that they operate, okay, use that to empower yourself. You know what I'm saying? Like, when you start tapping into stuff, believe what you tapping into, and then make decisions based around what it is that you know. Don't second guess yourself. Don't look outside of you for other people to validate how you feel about something or what it is that you know. Like, a lot of times you just have to stand in your own understanding and your own truth, right? And then deal from there, deal accordingly, right? When you start to work with your sensitivity instead of against it, you will find that you have an incredible ability to tap into your emotions and hold space for them. Yep. Part of your superpower will be emotional intelligence and fluency. I think I just said that. Emotions will be able to communicate with you freely and flow freely, and with emotions will be able to communicate with you and freely flow and release instead of getting bottled up. I like that. So, lastly, we want to make sure that we are learning how to identify our emotions. And I talked on that a little bit. Potential blocks can come in two forms. The first is invalidating your emotions as they come up because of all the conditioning. Oftentimes, let me see what the book say, because y'all, I got a lot to say. Let me see. Okay, so all right, I probably wouldn't have said it this way. Because of all the conditionings we have around sensitivity, it's easy to gaslight yourself and say that you're being overly dramatic or that you shouldn't feel this way. Take a moment to pause and reaffirm to yourself that your feelings are completely valid and you are allowed to feel how you feel. Okay. Your sensitivity and feelings are not weaknesses, so don't be afraid of them. Without them, in this cold, dark world, you would not be able to navigate through the things that you need to navigate through. So allow your emotions to be your light, okay? Let your light shine and your emotions. It say ride the waves, but always come back to a grounded place. Yes, so the grounding is very important. Second block, you might be over identifying with your feelings. And it's difficult to balance and feel our emotions versus spiraling in them, right? Kind of like what I just said, right? This card might be letting you know that you are taking on your hurt feelings as a part of your identity. So remember earlier that, well, no, we in a new week now, but last week we talked about victim mentality and healing the victim mentality. So we want to see balance is so amazing, wonderful, and great. Miss Tutu, because it allows us to navigate the world without being too much of this or too much of that, right? I'm navigating through my emotions, but I'm not using my emotions to abuse other people, right? And that's the thing. If we can learn how to validate our emotions within ourselves, we would not look for that validation outside of ourselves, okay? And once you stop looking for other people to validate you or be there for you to vent to. Sometimes you have to, I believe, as a part of your ascension, you have to learn how to be. That's why geniuses talk to themselves, because we got to be able to process through shit at times where there ain't nobody else on our level to be able to have a conversation with us about whatever it is that we need to process through. If you know, you know. All right, you guys. So I'm getting ready to get out of here. So if you notice, see if you can notice where you might be holding on to or expanding your feelings instead of taking them as they are and giving them space and time to process. And that's going to be very important. So we want to, let me see, exercise. Whenever let me see if the book going to tell you something different than what I was going to tell you. Let me see. Whenever an emotion is triggered, pause and take a moment to access how you feel and how you might be reacting to how you feel. Yeah. Are you spiraling in the emotion? Yeah. Or are you gaslighting yourself for having it in the first place? Notice the full scope of the situation and how you are reacting. And then see if you can validate what you are feeling without spiraling or gaslighting. Always remember, you are allowed to feel how you feel. I hope that makes sense to you guys. I'm trying to think. I can bring that home in so many different areas. So basically, you guys, listen. People talk about meditation and how meditation is such an important part of spirituality. And I feel like everyone has their own form of meditation. And for me, a form of mine is how I allow myself to process through my feelings and what it is that I'm feeling. So don't be afraid to do that. Don't be afraid to journal. Some people journal. I do journal. I am a writer, but when I need to process things, I need to talk to myself. Like I be talking through my feelings, right? And like I'll give y'all this example. So I had an appointment on Sunday, right? With a particular I had a situation on Sunday, right? And I realized that through processing my feelings, I realized that I was really dreading the situation, the meeting, the whole 9 yards, right? So then I asked myself, like, why do you feel hesitant? Why does this feel like a drag? Like, why are you dreading it, basically? And I just really processed through why it is that I was dreading the situation, and I held space for my feelings and my emotions, and I judged my feelings and my emotions. And what I realized is that my feelings were valid. My logical mind wanted me to do one thing. My feelings wanted me to do another. And what I realized whenever I just took the time to hug my little inner child and be honest with myself about the feeling of doom or dread, not doom. It didn't feel like doom, but I did feel dread, right? So I held space for why it is that I felt the way that I felt. And ultimately what I did was I canceled, the little situation or whatever. And I felt much better. So that we also want to we want to take the path of least resistance. And we want to take the path that makes us feel happy, right? And I was assessing my big girl feelings, and I was like, are you being responsible? You know what I mean? Like, I had this whole conversation with myself, And I was being responsible, and I needed to hold space for my emotions at that time. You know what I'm saying? So, yeah, that's all I got for y'all.